All right, good people, I'm back. I've confirmed that that link is working and we should be ready to rock and roll. Um, so, this is your time to call up, ask me anything you want, and I'll be honest, I'll be fair. If I don't know, I'll look it up for you and get back. You can also leave comments in the comment section below. I got my trusty dusty phone right here. All right, that's connected to this number 770-727-1620. If you feel up to it, it's the time to have open dialogue, I believe. This is the time to address issues head on. Nobody's running here. Nobody's running, and nor should we. Both sides. So, I've done this before. So this isn't the first time I've done this. The last time I did it was on the radio, and man, oh man, did we have the phone lines blowing up? Because everybody was calling up, asking me all types of stuff. And really, I don't mind it. I really don't. I don't mind answering the questions. I don't even mind answering the tough questions, because if I don't know the answer to it, then the least that I feel like I can do is at least get you the answer to it. So I'm telling you now. So you call up here and you ask me about a case that I'm not clear on. I'll tell you, hey, I'm not familiar with that case, but guess what? Right here, I've got my computer. I can look it up and I can research it. And then on the next week, once I gain intelligent information on it, intelligent information, not gossips, not what we suspect, not just a one-shot view from a civilian's camera who took the video of it or whatever. But once we have intel, real knowledge on what happened, then we'll talk about it and see. And I'm very clear that I don't think for one second that all of us as cops are right, because we're not. We're fallible. We're people. We make mistakes. I've said this for years. We make mistakes. We are people, and that's just that. And let's see, we got someone that said, "Hello, sir, Father Ted. Hey, how you doing, brother? How are you?" Let me see here. So so absolutely, man. We are going to absolutely positively talk the truth. And if you want to ask me something, Ted, please feel free. It's right here up on the screen. So, just ask me whatever, and I'm happy to entertain the questions or whatever. But, it's crazy because times are changing. Times have changed from the time that I came on the job. I mean, you're talking about, I'm not going to say holistically that, but I was a young buck. I'll tell you this here when I come out of the academy. I was 21 years old. So I've been doing this a while. And I could tell you now, the times have freaking changed since I've been a cop, started off being a cop or whatever. So it's really, 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 it's really crazy. Let's see here. I respect cops. It's a hard job, John, and thankless job sometimes. People don't appreciate it the way that they used to. No, they don't. They really don't. And the thing is that it's got to be a give and take on both ends. And I've always said this from day one. It's got to be a give and take, because as cops, I know when I come through the academy that they used to always teach us cops on one side and everybody else on the other side. Well, there's a lot of good civilians out here too, what I learned in 30-something years. There's a lot of good civilians. So, it is not necessarily that way today. A lot of things have changed in 30 years since I've come on the job. I mean, before you get, for example, a police brutality case or something like that, it would take months on years to investigate on something like that. Now, with social media, the way that we have it laid out right now, I mean, you can do it relatively quickly. I mean, you're going to pretty much know. One of the best things I think they could have ever came out with was the body camera. for officers. And I know a lot of officers did not like the body camera when it first came out. So, but I knew it was going to be a good thing, because I know that sometimes, yeah, you may have someone who should not be a police officer out there that slips through the crack. And the stigma of what I mean by that, cops on one side and everybody else on the other, and that includes civilians, everybody who's not a cop. And when I could tell you this right here, I knew this was going to happen. Okay, one person says here, where are you based, if you don't mind me asking? I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're from Ireland police force. Okay, it's mostly unarmed with pepper spray and batons. Wow, we only introduced body cameras this year for our police force. Yeah, man, that is crazy. I love to see other jurisdictions, how they do and how they police. It is amazing that here in the United States, let's see here. You look like Dizzy. I don't know who that is. I don't even know who that is. That's crazy. But no, so it's crazy to look at from, like, in Ireland. They give you guys mace, and I don't know. Do you guys have? Did you say tasers also? Do you have tasers there? With only pepper spray and a baton. So y'all don't even have tasers there. So that's crazy. But it's a different climate there. Here in the United States, everybody has a damn gun, and in Ireland, apparently they don't. So that works for you guys, and it's worked for many, 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 many years. But it's very good to see, different jurisdictions all over the world, how they police. And but here in the United States, of course, unfortunately, we have to have weapons, because, like I said, every person, or good, bad, or indifferent, has a weapon down here. And sometimes I wish we could be like Ireland, to where we take all the guns and throw them away, and they can just give us baton and pepper spray. That would be nice. But so it will be interesting to see if something catastrophic happened in Ireland, as far as, there has to be some type of weaponry in Ireland, I would imagine. But what happens if some crazed person, some crazed Ireland, grabs a gun somewhere and goes nuts? What happens then? What do you do as the police force then? Do y'all have a special stash? Let's see here. Oh, okay. So our armed special response forces, but I would imagine down the line they will give the regular beat cops tasers. Is getting more dangerous out here. Okay. So y'all would have to have a special unit come to respond to the area of the crime or whatever. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's interesting. My brother in blue. That's very, very interesting, because of course, here, how the states are here. We could, that would never work here for us, but in Ireland, it works for you guys, man. And I hope they do give you guys, if it's getting that bad, is it the gun control that's getting bad, where they're looking at having to give you guys this stuff, or are they just being proactive, or just what? I would really like to know that. And are they just talking about, let's see, you said that getting more data. Oh, okay. So yeah, they're talking about giving you guys tasers and stuff like that. That would help out a lot. I will tell you the thing with the taser is, though. So from the time when I graduated academy, we didn't have tasers and stuff like that. We only had, they gave you weapon, your extra duty ammunition, handcuffs, mace, your baton, PR-24. That was pretty much it. Taser wasn't even injected into this right now at that time. So you literally had to learn how to do something called fight when you come out the academy. and you couldn't just depend on taser. Now I don't know if you've kept up with like United States stuff. There's been a lot of incidences where officers have mistakenly used their pistol, their gun, in a non-lethal force situation, thinking it was their taser. So that's the reason why a lot of times we try to get it to where it's cross body draw. Here, you got to draw, cross over your body in order to get the taser and stuff like that, and not just have it on your gun sight and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Over the last 5 years, crime has increased or decreased in Ireland?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, he said it's getting worse, though. Father Ted said it's getting worse over in Ireland. So I don't know. Y'all gonna have to do something really proactive to really get this that crime under control.
So he says, yes, exactly. We have an armed response unit on standby for special circumstances in bigger cities. In regards to the dangers, we have a huge gangland crime and wow.
Yeah, we have the Crips and the Bloods here. We have the Crips and the Bloods, and that's crazy that even the gangs are even going on over Ireland. So the gangs in Ireland, are they carrying guns, or are they carrying? And what kind of weapons are they carrying? What are you guys seeing that they're carrying in Ireland? What are you seeing that they're carrying in Ireland? So we'll give them a chance to respond to that, because that's interesting right there. I mean, that's interesting as hell to me, because where you look at one jurisdiction in a geographical location, and then you look at us to where it's like every time, Ted, that we turn on the news, someone's getting shot, someone's getting killed. It's a constant thing. I don't even like watching the news anymore, man. Because every time I turn on the news, someone's getting shot and killed here. It's ridiculous. And it is no end in sight. So everyone here has a doggone gun, and everybody here uses them. And as well as I do, in the heat of moment, when people are upset, they're not thinking clearly. And the first thing they go to is gun. It's the first thing they go to. And it always ends catastrophically, either with one person killing the other person, or what's really common here, Ted, is innocent bystanders getting shot. I can't tell you how many calls I've been to where I'm mad at you, you're mad at me, you pull out a gun, I pull out a gun, you shoot, I shoot, and then that bullet that doesn't have any eyes or care where it hits a child in the back of a car seat somewhere asleep and kills the kid. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So, I am a proponent of everyone having a gun, but I'm also a proponent of everybody being trained to utilize the gun, and maybe some type of psych eval. I don't know how realistic that is, but when you have emotional people that have access to firearms like that, I'm telling you, it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare waiting to happen. And so often we see this in the United States of America. All over the country. It's not just exempt from in Atlanta, Georgia here. It's everywhere. Everywhere that you turn on the television, there's somebody that done got a hold of a gun or some type of a weapon and inflicting violence on people. And another thing that
yeah, mostly Glock shotguns. Some AKs have been used in gangland's family feuds. If you Google the Hunch Beef Ireland is very interesting. Wow, we're gonna Google that. I'm gonna Google that, Ted, and see what that is. But what I was saying was
A lot of things with mass shootings here. Now, I'm telling you, we have so many mass shootings in the United States, it's damn near not even newsworthy anymore. It's not even newsworthy anymore. I mean, literally, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, when we would have a school shooting or something like that, it would stop the world. It would pause the world, you know? And we would all be in shock about it. I mean, and it's a horrific situation. It is freaking crazy. But it's so common now. It's like, you're like, oh, yeah, school shooting. And, okay, what's the weather today? It's crazy. So, and what I'm afraid of is that it may be heading you guys' way too. So I don't know, as a police department, what you do to block that, but it is certainly plaguing the U.S. Wow, I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it. I'm gonna Google it and I'll watch it because that's very interesting to see that right there. So yeah, if you guys are following along in the comments, you can follow along in the comments. There's a
Netflix special out. Majority is man-made problems, however things that occur. Interesting. Interesting. So how long? Hey, Ted. Okay. Oh, I see. This is YouTube. Z Prowl. So yeah. I'll check it out and see. But I can tell you now, it is not even. I mean, there's where I mean, I remember where it would stop the world for months on end a school shooting, and now when a school shooting happens, it's not even publicized that much because it happens so much, and we are so desensitized to it here in the United States, that it's not even funny, and we should never be desensitized to acts of violence like that. We should never be desensitized to gun violence or whatnot. So, but yeah, it used to be heart stopping. So, I don't know what the answer to it is, and we're in such a political battle here with the Republicans and the Democrats and this and that. It's such a battle with that. It's sort of unbelievable. So, even the FBI's are best. Oh wow, wait. So they're reaching the states too. Yep. Then that confirms it that they're reaching over here too at some juncture. If you got the FBI involved in it, and some of these guys, I wish we could just lock up and throw away the key with. But I don't know how it is in Ireland there, but we have a justice system that we have to fight through in order to get people incarcerated and all that other good stuff. And it's just one of those deals to where when you have a society that's become so desensitized in crime, and then everybody just stays in their own little pond. Hell, I mean, I remember there was a time where I would stop and help a little old lady on the side of the road, or stop and help a female on the side of the road, or hell, even a guy sometimes on the side of the road. But now you don't even dare to do that. You don't even dare to do that because they're setting you up, they're carjacking you now. Everybody's got a damn gun, everybody's crazy, everybody's on drugs. So you tend to just put your blinders on and just mind your own business. Where before it used to take a village to help raise these kids and stuff like that. And now it's really too bad that we're in the state that we're in right now. It's really too bad.
So, but yeah, man, I really appreciate the love from Ireland.
And I hope that
Well, these crime families are something, man. We have plenty of them here in the U.S., as you know, plenty of crime families in the U.S. But I don't know. You know, as officers, we have to walk a fine balance of doing what's right on this side and then being safe on this side. And we have to walk that fine line right in the middle of there because, you know, here in the States, you know, you can't walk around with, you know, of course, your pistol just out. But again, you can't be too slow on getting your pistol out neither, because we have some tough hombres here that will kill you dead, that will shoot you dead. We have a very high loss of life of officers here in the States. And, you know, I hear people all the time say that, oh, well, you know, you guys are cops. That's what you signed up for. Listen, I didn't sign up to die for no damn job. Okay? I didn't sign up to die for no job. All right? Yeah, I know that there is a possibility that that can happen. I understand that. But Africa is in the house. Hello, Africa. But I don't think that there is not enough dollar signs that you could put on my paycheck for my life. Period. That's just that. So when people come to me with this rhetoric and this nonsense, then don't be a pig. Then who will clean up your shit then? You know? So again, it's comments like this, then don't be a pig. Yeah, but I'm sure, and whoever this is, whatever person this is that said that is, I'm sure you called the cops at some point in your life. So if I don't be a pig or police officer or a cop, who's going to come to save your little sweet ass? You see what I'm saying? So stuff like that does not help the problem. It only amplifies the problem. Now, I understand that some people do not like the police. I understand that. But on the other hand, on the flip hand side of this, with this whole, and I'm glad he actually logged on here, the fire department. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Fire department, in case you didn't realize, don't even go in until we've cleared the scene and made it right. They don't have guns, you know, and I don't know where you're calling from. Right. So I don't know where this guy's calling from or whatever, but the fire department, the paramedics don't even go in, not unless we have to clear the scene first. You know. This guy here. Oh boy. So, but yeah. So the fire department don't even come in, not unless we have to go in there and clear the scene first. So once we go in to clear the scene, then we go in and start rendering aid for people and stuff like that. 99, I would say 90% of the time, it's, you know, people, you know, shooting and killing other people. You know, it's not really police involved. It's not police involved. It's, you know, you coming home, catching your wife doing whatever, or she catching you doing whatever, and then the shots ringing out and all this other good stuff. So yeah, it's but
if there were no pigs, they would need to wait to save lives.
Yeah. So, hey, it is what it is. You know, people make comments all the time. I generally don't even, you know, bother with them or whatever. But I'm going to tell you now, if it wasn't what you want to call for the pigs, all right, if it wasn't for us coming to save your behind in a time of time of need, yeah, we'll see how far that would go. I mean, so are regulars, so are cooks, so are paramedics, so are firefighters, so are, McDonald workers. Yeah, I agree with you. The cops are nothing but human beings, and we're fallible human beings. All right. I'm not saying that we're perfect. I'm not saying that we're the end all and the save all. But what I'm saying is simply this here: without the police, where would the society be? It will be chaos. Because I'll guarantee you, there ain't a paramedic, there ain't a firefighter in the world that's going to go running in when someone is shooting rampantly at people. I don't know a fireman. I don't care how big they are. I don't care how much weight they lift, whatever. I don't know a fireman, a paramedic, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, that's going to be running towards the gunfire.
Black people always running under other nations. Save yourself. 911 is a joke in your town.
Well, then take it away then. That's all I got to say. Because the only people, about 95% of the people who would be suffering from this would probably be people in places of color. All right. So you take away 911, you take away the police, the bulk of the people who will be suffering will be people of color. That's just a known fact. I'm not saying that white folk or any other race don't call the cops just as much as blacks. I'm not saying that part at all. But what I'm telling you is it would strongly affect the black community. Well, in your opinion there, Willie boy, in your opinion, pigs may be cowards. But exactly there, Willie boy, when you need the police, who you call? Huh? And that's the whole thing. Who you calling? Say, when that girl out there busting your windows out, or that boy, hey, it's a new world, okay? Out there busting your windows out, and you watch them bust those windows out, who are you calling? You ain't calling the fire department, okay? You ain't calling the paramedics. You calling the police. So see, when your ass is on the line, you need the police. But then when your ass ain't on the line, you don't want the police. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Black people always whining and complaining about anything.
I can tell you in 30 years, everybody whines and complains about everything. It ain't just a black person thing. Blacks whine and complain. Whites whine and complain. Spanish, Indian, Brazilian. I've taken calls from everybody, and I can tell you 100%, it ain't just blacks. Oh, really? So what I would love to know what Mr. Willie's going to do then. First off, you're lying. Okay, you're lying. If you're sitting here telling me, however old you are, that you've never called the police, you are lying. You're lying. I know you're lying. You know you're lying. You're lying. So go on with that. I mean, everybody knows that. There ain't a person in this world that's like, they ain't gonna call the police at some point in their time. You get involved in an accident on the freeway. Who gonna come take the report there, Willie? Huh? You? You wouldn't even know. You probably can't even spell report.
I've never needed the pig to do something for me in my neighborhood. I can do.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You're just talking foolishness.
So black people can't defend themselves. Right.
I agree with you, Ted. Well, Willie need to grow up because ain't nobody believing a doggone thing Willie say. All right, nobody believing that Willie say. Willie probably called cops once a doggone week. All right, Willie probably called the cops once a week. People that always get on here and say this ridiculous stuff like that, they're the main ones calling the cops. They're the main ones cowering down when the shots rang out. They're the main ones running over you to get out that door of the movie theater when those shots rang out. So people like Willie is a joke to me. It's a joke. He's just talking nonsense. He's probably alone in his room somewhere, drinking and drunk or whatever, and think life sucks or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it is what it is, because everybody needs help at some point in time. And that's what the police is there for. There are a lot of good cops, despite what Willie say. We ain't listening to no Willie. All right. Despite what old William Boy say, there's a lot of fine officers out here who go out here and put their lives on the line every single day to answer calls of service like fools like William. All right. And we do it with a sense of courage. We do it with a sense of urgency. And we're just crazy enough to think that even though people like William out there exist, that we still go out there and do the job anyway. You see what I'm saying? We still go out there and do the job anyway. I mean, what? So, cops are
wimps.
Again, you're saying every cop in the world is a wimp. Do you have a specific cop that you want to talk about that you think is a wimp? All cops can't be wimps, right? Because we do some pretty heroic things. So again, come to me with facts, and then we'll talk. But that's just like saying that all black people rob or kill or steal or something like that. This is totally ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous. It's totally not true, right? It's totally not fucking true. There's a lot of good black people out here. There's a lot of good white people out here. There's a lot of good Spanish people out here. So you can't just say all. You say all cops. All cops are wimps or whatever. Again, the same thing goes out to you too. All right. If you then don't call us then. Let's see how far that gets you. Then don't call us. Okay. Just don't call us. All right. Like saying that there's no good pigs, or what William calls us pigs, which he's referring to as cops or whatever. I think we all know that that's just simply not true. Do cops have problems? Absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. We have problems. Yeah, this is the real world. But this is the best society that we have too. Okay? Because still, in the United States of America, you're still innocent until proven guilty. You still have a right to due process. What does this person say?
You look suspicious selling weed on the hood. Oh boy. Vivaldi.
Yes, you're absolutely right, William. Now, I will agree with you. Now, hold on, because one thing I believe in being fair. All right. Now, William has a halfway legit of a light of a legit point. Okay, William, I'm gonna be fair because I'm not like you, William. I'm not gonna just say something just out of emotion or whatever. So let's talk about Uvalde for a second. So he's referring to Uvalde where the cops absolutely positively waited too long to breach and to make entry and stuff like that, which was a horrible, I think personally, decision. Okay. Now I'm sure there were cops that were itching to go in and to save lives and to do the job and stuff like that. And their commanding officers backed them down. All right. And that was a dreadful, horrible mistake from that commanding officer who stopped those officers from going in and saving lives and stuff like that. Our first rule of policing is life-saving measures. All right. That's our first duty right there, is to save lives. All right. And that commander on the scene that day dropped the ball on it. I'll be the first one to tell you. See, if you think you're going to get pushback from me when something's wrong, then you got another thing coming. You don't know me. All right? Okay? You don't know me. So right is right and wrong is wrong. They should have moved in there and went in there and they should have handled business. Instead, they waited out of fear of the pressure of the media and social media, and lives, innocent, young lives were lost. It was a freaking horrible mistake. It was a freaking horrible mistake. It was. I'll be the first one to tell you it was a horrible mistake. But we have to learn from that also. We have to learn from that and we have to move forward on now. That's why, as horrible as that incident was, we've learned from that. And now our first measure is we don't wait anymore. We go in. And if that means a loss of life for officers, then that means a loss of life for officers. But what that has taught us is that our first core responsibility is to our citizens and preserving as many lives as we can. Yes, William, you're absolutely right there. They got it wrong. That commander got it wrong. Okay? They got it wrong.
What black man says frickin' stay away from him? Me? There are no good people. Okay, William, you've already said that. Jesus Christ, man. Say something else.
So, no, yeah, I get it. I absolutely positively get it. And, you know, there have been some cops who've totally got it wrong also. And in my opinion, you know, when you look at the Memphis incident, that officer got it wrong, all the way wrong. Okay? And to me, he got it wrong. To a lot of other cops out here, he definitely got it wrong. And that's why he's sitting in prison right now. Okay? So our first duty has to be the preservation of life. It has to be. Otherwise, we'll just be just as dumb as some of these comments coming on here. And yes, are we going to hit the ball out the park every single time? Hell no. Hell no. Right? We won't. Sometimes we'll get it wrong.
What do you call 50 black people in a white wall bar?
Yeah, I think William knows that all cops ain't bad. He knows that. And because if in order to say that all cops were bad, I'm sure William would have never had to call a cop a day in his life. And I'm sure old Willie has called a cop a day or two in his life. I can almost guarantee you. So people are frustrated. And I get the frustration too. There are a lot of cops that are frustrated also. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. But there are a lot of people that are frustrated. There's a lot of good people that are frustrated.
Bozo the clown. All cops are slave catchers.
Wow, well, I don't know. I could tell you this here: all cops are criminal catchers. That's what I could tell you. So you can come on here and try to slam me all you want. All right. Hey, let me tell you something. I got very thick skin. I don't care about these stupid comments. But at the end of the day, we have to play the cards of what we deal with. And at the end of the day, cops are not going anywhere. All right. You're going to still have calls for service that's coming in that people like you, ungrateful people, who look at every little single thing that a cop may do and find fault in it or whatever. But at the end of the day, our society would crumble with no law enforcement officers. It would crumble, period, point blank. So as much as you hate the police, don't hate the police or whatever, There's always some other place in this country that's worse off than the United States of America that we will be happy for you to pick up and to move to. That's all I got to say about that right there, because there's going to always be cops. You can hate it all you want. You can say whatever you want about it or whatever. The thing is, instead of bitching and moaning and groaning about it, then we need to learn how to get along about it. Well, what do you mean when you say that? Instead of turning your nose up at a cop when you see a cop or whatever, why don't you go up and talk to him? Get to know the guy or the young lady or whatever. Get to know him. Ask some questions about why do we do this or this and this and this and that and this and that and this and that. You'll be surprised on how much you can learn by just simply talking to people. And let me tell you something, over 30 years, I've helped far more people than I've ever heard in this line of work. Far more people than I've ever heard. I've stopped over, and I'm very proud to say this, I've stopped over 4 rapes in my career. All right, as just driving by, and we have a lot of strip malls and stuff like that with not gas stations, but laundromats and stuff like that. And I noticed, I thought they were fighting at first, and this guy threw this woman down behind the dryers and stuff like that. And I was going in there for what I thought was a domestic. All right. I had no idea that this guy was brutally beating and trying to rape this woman in there. And I remember going in there and I just hear this lady screaming at the top of her voice, "Oh my Jesus, help me, God, help me, Jesus, no, no, no." And at that time I was in stealth mode. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was in stealth mode. I went over there and I peeked first, because you got to know what you're walking into. And I seen what I seen. I seen what I seen. This man's ripping this woman's pants off, her panties off, and stuff like that. And it was about to penetrate her. And he was beating her. And we ended up arresting the guy. And it was a good feeling that I was able to prevent that. So I don't think cowards would do something like that. I think a coward would probably get on someone's feet unidentified and call other people coward when that coward knows that he wouldn't have done anything to help that woman. When that coward knows, he would have kept on moving. He would have kept on pushing. Yeah, I'm not saying that we get it right all the time. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that sometimes when it counts, most of the time when it counts, we're there. The men and women in blue are there. So a lot of people are scared to talk on situations like this. A lot of people, they will hear certain people say ignorant stuff, like some of the comments on here and stuff like that, and then they turn a blind eye to it. No, not me. I face it head on, because I know at 52 years old that there ain't no one on this chat line that hasn't had problems, no matter where you live at in this world. And along with coming with problems, sometimes comes the police. Sometimes comes the emergency squad. Sometimes comes the judge. Sometimes comes the fine. You understand what I'm saying? So ain't none of us on here perfect. I don't care if you white. I don't care if you black. I don't care if you Spanish, Chinese, whatever. Ain't none of us perfect. So you can make your sly comments. You can talk all the crap you want about police, whether we should have them, whether they're cowards, whether they're this, whether they're that. But at the end of the day, if someone comes kicking in your door at 3 o'clock in the morning, I guarantee you're going to be calling the police. Period. So you can talk all the crap you want. You're going to be the main one cowering down behind your bed, giving a description to that 911 operator that you're desperately clinging to every bit of your life to. All the descriptions that you can. What you hearing? How many you think is in the house? Where they at in the house? Do they got guns? What they got on? All this other stuff. And guess what? To all the Williams out there, while you busy doing all this stuff here, you got some young buck that just got out of the academy, or some older officers that's running 110 miles an hour to your sorry ass to come and see about you. And that's just the God's honest truth. There you have it. So you can be ungrateful all you want. You can say whatever on here, on your chats, all you want. I don't care. It's a freedom of speech. See, that's what makes it good, that a man like me who served 30 years can sit here and entertain and talk to fools like William and the rest of them who don't believe that. And let them discourage or let them attempt to discourage me, call names, and all that other stuff. So some people come on to look for a fight. All right. This ain't the fighting show. All right. This is the Ask a Cop show. All right. This ain't the Tell a Cop. This ain't the all cops are wimps or something like that. No, this is the Ask a Cop. So you got a question, you ask it. You know, on his thing, he made a statement. All right. And that's perfectly fine, because guess what? Even in a free society like we live in the United States, we still have to put up with idiots. And in the course of putting up with idiots, guess what? We still have to pick up and dust ourselves off and go do the job that we're hired to do. And when we screw up, we have to be man enough to admit that, you know what, citizens, we dropped the ball on this. We will not do it again. We've learned from this. Just like with things in life that you got to go through, you got to learn from it. You got to learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So this is why I love to have conversations like this. So maybe I can't reach everybody physically, but through the lens of these cameras, I can reach a lot of people. And I challenge anybody to log on, tell me what you got to say, good, bad, or indifferent. I got very thick skin. But at the end of the day, I'm coming to you with facts. Because see, what William thought I was going to do was get on here and try to defend the Uvalde situation. I'm not trying to defend that. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible mistake that was made. It should have never been made. But this is what happens when you have a free society, to where you constantly put police officers under pressure. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Period, point blank. Because if they would have went in their guns blazing and took the subject out, you would have surely been having a damn William talking about, what about de-escalation techniques? If you wait too long, and God, please forbid, they done killed all these damn kids in there, now you've got the public saying you're cowards and this and that and this and that and this and that. See, the true reality of policing is, it's not an easy job. We're underpaid. We're overworked. We've got more criminals than we got cops. So it is a very difficult job. But guess what? Hey, that's all we got. That's all we got in America. Okay? Because ain't nobody else coming to your rescue. Ain't nobody else coming to your rescue. So all the Williams in the world and all the other stuff, they're just ignorant people out there just trying to pick a fight somewhere. That's why I can read these comments and laugh them off. That's why I can read these comments and laugh them off. Absolutely, positively. I read them and laugh them off. Because I know at the end of the day that everybody's going to need the police at some point in time. I don't care whether you're black. I don't care whether you're white. I don't care whether you're a KKK member. I don't care whether you're the Black Panther Party member. At the end of the day, you're going to come across a cop at some point in your life. And if we stay on one side, if cops stay on one side, and civilians stay on this side, then we'll never meet in the middle anywhere. We'll never have an understanding. And understand this also. One of the best things I will say is cops are just people too. People ask me, well, what makes a good cop? What makes a good cop? Let me see here. Let me see.
100%, Daryl, you're speaking pure fact. Oh,
Thank you. Yeah, they do. They do, William, to answer your question. They do. They do. Because do you know why? Because we don't have the reality of being some internet bully behind a username there, William, if that's even your real name. We don't have the luxury of sitting in some little creeper dark room somewhere and doing all these little vile comments and stuff like that. At the end of the day, Americans realize that shit happens. And sometimes it's very unfortunate shit that happens. But at the end of the day, we cowboy the hell up, we get back on the horse, and we have to try this thing again. And that's just where we at with this thing. So yeah, you have an incident like Uvalde or a Memphis where it is a horrible facts of circumstances for the cop, or for in Uvalde, that one cop. Because I know I was not there in Uvalde, but trust me, in 30 years, I can tell you there were a lot of cops who wanted to go in there and to save lives, and they were backed off by their commanders. So why listen to his commanders? Why didn't they just go in there? Why didn't they just just overrule the things, blah, 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 blah? Because in law enforcement, we run a paramilitary type of organization where you are casted orders and you follow them. But even at the sake of innocent lives and stuff like that, unfortunately, that's what these guys believe with their heart. Unfortunately. And they were backed down from it. And I'm sure there is not a cop there, up to and including that commander, who did not give the order for these guys to go in and to do what they were supposed to do. That I guarantee you, none of them are sleeping well at night. Because that goes against the whole core purpose of what we're here for. It goes against the whole core purpose of what we're here for. Right? And again, I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it 3 times. The commanding officer got it wrong. He got it wrong. I don't know what else you want me to say. All right. But what that did do was teach us, and it was a turning corner for law enforcement of now we have ballistic shields in the car where we don't have to wait on SWAT to go in. Okay. That's a very big thing right there. Right. So as you know, where we're at, we fight crime. Okay, there is no waiting on SWAT. There is no nothing. You have an active shooter situation. You're going in and saving lives. And if that means we have to take out the bad guy in the process, then that's exactly what that means. Did that happen in Uvalde, William, while you're busy typing as fast as you can? No, it did not happen in Uvalde. Should have happened in Uvalde? Absolutely. It should have. It should have happened much faster than what it did. So that is between that commander and his God, what he has to live with. He's got to live with that the rest of his days. Because to me, that would be a very, very, very heavy load to have to live with. I don't know that I could do it. I wouldn't, if it was me, I would hope that I would have gave the order to move in almost immediately. Assess and move in and handle the situation. Okay, there's a lot of factors that go in this. You can't go in there just cowboying it neither. See, that's how innocent people get shot and killed, right? So it's a very difficult thing to do. It's a very difficult maneuver to make. Because if you make the wrong maneuver, your ass is up the creek without a paddle. Your ass is going to jail. If you're lucky, your ass might be dead. So you've got to make the right decision spot on just about 100% of the time when it comes to stuff like this. Because we're going to always have our Williams of the world that's going to always just talk crap and just always just that and the other, whatever, right? But for Americans who are out here getting up every day, grinding it out, going through this thing called life, the hustles and bustles, the ups and downs of life, we understand that guess what? Cops are nothing but human beings too. We are fallible. But guess what? The difference between a William and a me is that I don't just complain about it on the internet and just ironically call names and point fingers and stuff like that. I get the facts first. And then sometimes in the course of the facts, guess what? Guess what? The cop very well may be wrong. And guess what? I got news for you. That's why we have a justice system. It doesn't exclude cops. We have a justice system that says, okay, Mr. Officer, if you do want to go out there and violate everything we told you, put your knee on this man's neck and perch up as you're watching this man die, as he's telling you, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Okay, we got something for you too. We got something for you too. It's called a justice system. And even though visually, as wrong as he is, he still has a right to due process too. Because that's what, in the United States, what we're founded off of. That's what we're founded off of. This is nothing that we just get a chance to make up. Or, okay, we'll just X this part of the Constitution out because, I don't like it. Doesn't go that way. Everybody has their constitutional rights. Me, even ignorant people like William, has a constitutional right to be able to get on here and say as much ignorant stuff as he wishes to say. And at the end of the day, if William calls 911 and I'm the lucky cop that comes to William's door and William is hanging off the edge of a building about to fall over because his drunk wife done pushed him over the damn ledge of the building because he's talking crap to her like we all want to do right now, I still have to extend my hand to William and say, grab my hand. How big of a coward is that for you, William? Would you do the same for me, William? How about that? So, at the end of the day, people, this has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful chatting session with you guys. I really appreciate it. We're going to do this again next Thursday, same time, same channel. You guys call in. You can call in 770-727-1620. Ask me anything you'd like, or you can always feel free to jump on a chat when we're online and stuff like that. Check your boy out at DarylTriplett.com. Of course, everybody knows I'm a comedian cop. Been doing it 12 years as far as the comedy goes. Been policing for about 30 years. I love talking to you guys. You guys are my inspiration. You guys are my light at the end of the tunnel right here. Been able to have conversations and see different viewpoints coming together and talking points coming together. And sometimes eventually we're going to get some idiots in there. We understand that too. But I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you guys next Thursday at 8 o'clock sharp. And we're going to kick this thing off again. Okay? All right. Thank you guys and good looking out. And I'll see you guys. Y'all be safe and love each other.